Yes, we have liftoff. I have been trying to press the live button and nothing was happening. It's a bit like the magician going, damn, this wand is just not working. And this is what happens when you start working with the tarot in this amazing way. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to the first day of Be Your Own Magician. My name is Tiffany Cressara. I am your friendly inner transformation specialist, author of those books behind me, The Transformational Truth of Tarot, The Transformational Truth of You, creator of the Transformational Truth of Tarot Game Changer, which also uses the images from Pamela Steele Wizard's deck, and the Boho CEO of multi-award winning brand of the Transformational Truth of Tarot. My words got a little mixed up there, but I think you follow me. As I said, this is what happens when you start working with magic. It all gets a little bit crazy and uncontrollable, but hey, we can have loads of fun. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Wherever you are, say hi in the comments. Hi, Chloe, good to see you. There's someone here saying hi, Tiff. It just says Facebook user. If you don't register with StreamYard, that's fine. But do tell me your name with your comment if you want me to know who you are. Otherwise, I won't know who you are. But if you want to be anonymous, that will work very well to your advantage. Okay, so what we're going to do today, in case you haven't noticed, there's some energy building around something called Be Your Own Magician. Now, normally I go live at 1 p.m. UK time on a Monday to do a little transformational tarot sesh with you. So I'm going to do one after the other. Okay, so this is going to be two halves. The first half of this session, I am going to talk to you about how to activate your magician today, okay? And then after that, this is the main thing we're going to be doing this week, and you might see that there's quite a bit of energy building because this is really what I do. This is the heart or the essence of what I do. You'd be forgiven for thinking it's tarot before you actually do dive in to one of these journeys, and this free 5-day one is like the little peek that I can show you. Really, it's about blowing your mind with all the amazing, wondrous, incredible power there is in connecting with the divinity and how it can really come alive in your life, and I'll explain a little bit more in a moment. Okay, so that's going to be the first half. I'm going to walk you through what we're going to be doing every single day, starting with today to get this magic going. And then I'll do the transformational tarot session after that. So it's up to you if you want to stay for all of it or just stay for half of it. But I would definitely stay for this first part because this is the meat. This meat doesn't sound right, does it, in these day and age? This is the heart. This is the heart and soul of tarot, not readings, which a transformational tarot sesh borders on. That keeps you surface. This is the deep, deep dive. Okay, so yay, Gwyneth saying she's really looking forward to the 5 days. It's the right time. Absolutely, I'm so pleased you're here. I was so excited when I saw that you signed up, so it's fabulous. Okay, so thanks, Anne, for clarifying that's you. Let's do this. So you may have seen that there is a post in the group today which I've marked as announcement, and it's about the magician, and it says Be Your Own Magician Day 1. So every day when you wake up, the first thing you do is you come into the group and you see the post, okay? Not always the magician post. There'll be a new one for you that goes up 6 a.m. UK time every day. So today it's the Magician. Tomorrow it's going to be the Sword. The day after that it's going to be the Cup. The day after that it's going to be the Wand. And the day after that it's going to be the Pentacle. Why? And why are these 4 things on the Magician's altar? Because the Magician knows that when he's done his mindset and he's got his mindset right, which is the sword. Sword represents air. It cuts through air as thoughts do, right? And inspiration from spirit does. And that's what we're going to be working with tomorrow. Okay, when he's got that mastered first, because that's where spirit comes from, the air, from the thoughts that comes into your head, into your mind, then you start to feel. And that is the Cup here. Okay, so that's day 3. Wednesday we'll be working. Unless you're in Australia, you might be doing it Thursday, depending on time. It might be Tuesday for you if you're in America, but generally speaking, this is our pace as spoken about in the UK. So Wednesday, we're going to be going into the heart, into the emotion. There's 2 different types of intuition. One is fast and it comes through the mind. That's the sword. The next one is feeling, clairsentience. It's slower. It requires you to slow down to feel the right way forward. That's Wednesday. And then when you've got that, because the thought activates the heart, it's like you think something, then you feel it. You feel into it, right? After that, we go into the Wand, which is inspired creation. And you've had the thought and you've had the feeling, you get to the place where you're inspired to take action. Inspired action feels different. It feels exciting. Sometimes that can get a little bit overwhelming as well. There's always 2 sides. Like with feeling into the intuition, you can lose your way a little bit. With everything coming in through the mind, the challenge is not to get overwhelmed. And we're working with all of these energies. Every card has a negative and a positive, or should I say a blessing and a challenge. All right. And it's about us mastering those challenges and being able to become the magician in our life. And then we end up with the Pentacle. So it's like a recipe, yes? And if you've got that balance and that mix right, and for just the right amount of energy and time investment in it, you're going to have a great result at the end of it. But it may be that your cake comes out a bit wonky. And if it comes out a bit wonky, that's absolutely fine too. The process of this is not to come in with a heavy need to get it right or to get anything perfect. It's not about that. It's about play. And the more you can just allow yourself to take imperfect action and have fun with it, the better. Okay, so once you've read the post will tell you what to do for the day. But basically what you're doing is you're choosing a picture of that card for the day. So for today, for instance, it's choosing the picture of the Magician. And for tomorrow, it's going to be choosing the picture of the Ace of Swords, right? So for me, I've chosen existence. And the reason I've chosen existence is because this is where I feel that I am at. I had no logical, I was thinking, it was only this morning that I was like, oh, I've managed to unhook from the logical mind that is like, oh, I should maybe do this one because that's better to show them, or it's better for business, or and actually come into the heart of where I am. So the cup was serving me better, yeah, of like, oh yes, this is it, and this is what needs to happen for you when you choose a card. It's not about having a tarot deck. You don't even need a tarot deck. Please don't stay stuck to a deck. It's about the picture and how the picture resonates with you and how it makes you feel. So you just put it into Google, you just put it into the search, the name of the card. So today is the Magician, and then tarot. and then click images. And then you take a screenshot of the image that resonates with you. And that's really important, guys and gals. It's very important because you will be surprised how much this picture plays out. So you really want to be resonating with the picture rather than stuck to a deck. And a good thing to do is put it on your phone. And why is that a good thing to do? Because apparently we look at our phones 150 times a day. That was the statistics before lockdown. Imagine what it's like now. But if you're not someone that looks at your phone, that's fine. Put it somewhere that you're going to see it. There's no point putting it on your phone if you don't look at your phone. The point is that you want this in your visual awareness to remind you that you are working with this power, with this energy today, okay? And then what? Well, 3 questions. And this is the basis for the whole day. If you don't watch any other live this week, it's fine. You'll have what you need. Yes, obviously the more you put into this, the more you get out of it. But this instruction that I'm giving you now is the instruction for you to, you could just see this and you'd know what to do for the next 5 days, okay? You just apply it to the next day, to the next day, to the next day, changing the card as you go, but it's the same formula. Choose the card that you resonate with, have it somewhere in front of you, and ask these 3 questions. Who is showing up today that reminds me of this card? What is playing out today that reminds me of this card? How am I being like this card? 3 questions, that's it. Who, what, how? That's it. And so when you see this, it will then prompt you to remember, oh, hang on a second, what's been happening today? How is this playing out? Who, what? Okay, so that's the purpose of having the visual reminder. Then in the evening, you diarize your day, just as you would a normal diary. So you just write it out, just let go of needing to find the magic or anything like that. You're just writing a normal diary, just recording your whole day, okay? And then you go back and you apply the questions. Who, what, how? And then share it in the group. Because if you don't share it in the group, the chances are you're gonna miss things because you're maybe a bit too close. So there's a few objections that come up, right? First one is, I know nothing about the tarot. You don't need to know anything about the tarot. You need to have chosen the picture that resonates with you and let the picture say 1,000 words. That's it, okay? The other one is like, I can't write my day out because I can't see what magic happened. It's the other way around. Write your day out. You'll start to see how the magic happens. And even if you don't, share it. So whether you do or whether you don't, the purpose is to share it. There's people in the group that have been journeying a few times with me. They'll be able to help you. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get round to everybody's comments. I can't promise that. But I will be keeping an eye out and, seeing. I'm just going to trust that what I need to see, I can see. If you need help at all, do come on the lives. This is where I'm showing up to help you every single day at the same time this week from Monday to Friday. Are there any questions? I will say that it does help to understand or acknowledge the number. Like today is number 1. Okay, so today is a great day to set your intention and to allow yourself to be number 1 and be like, right, what intention do I want to work with today? Who am I becoming is a really good question to ask yourself and allow yourself to grow into that level of existence. That's a really good place to start with, okay? And also astrologically, we're looking at Mercury. The magician is Mercury, which has just gone direct. And Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo, but I would definitely see more Gemini in the Magician card than Virgo, although Virgo can get very in the head with things, which is Mercury, as can Gemini. But Gemini has more of an ability to be fast, and magic is fast, and it's kind of everywhere and a little bit crazy and a little bit chaotic, but great fun. So this also reminds me of another zodiac sign, which is Aries. Now, Aries isn't something that is attributed traditionally to the magician. Aries just isn't attributed traditionally to the magician, but I absolutely see him in the magician because it's the first zodiac sign. It's all about the eye, and it's all about this crazy, imperfect, magical fun. Okay, so I want you to have fun. I want you to not be in this place of overthinking, but just be like, hello, magician. I am loving being connected with you today. Thank you for being in my space. And I want you to be in that place of allowing the energy in. So it's not like, tell me everything I need to know about you. A lot of people, when they connect with tarot, they try too hard and they force it. You've got to see it as a relationship. And if you went out on a date, say you're going out on a date with the magician, right? If you went into that date and you were like, tell me everything about you, I need to know everything about you, and now, what do you think is going to happen? Yeah. But if you're in the place of like, hey, I'm excited to meet you. And yeah, I'm opening my energy up to see what happens. That's how you work with it. Okay. So, hello, peeps. I'm just looking through your comments. I've got some new people here. Okay, so someone here, Facebook says, I'm feeling excited as you talk. I can't tell you how perfect this timing is for me. Phenomenal. Looking forward to this week. Couldn't have done this so easily last week. Ah, maybe. I'm applying the fifth agreement to that, which means we let go. We let go of saying we couldn't or we could or this is real or not. So thank you for that, Leslie, because that's bringing a point up about what I was just saying about the play. Please, peeps, go into this lightly with you. What it's not about being like this is another thing that happens with people with tarot. They think they need to do everything and dedicate their whole lot to it. Play. Have the image there, be light with it, and just be like, oh, yeah. Those of you that have signed up, as Leslie says that she signed up as well, will have got a book. And that book will help you with writing it out. It's just 5 pages that help you with this same structure and the same process every day. So if you want that book, you will need to sign up on this link here. Where are we? Comments. Banners. There we go. This is what you want. So if you want that little book, it's 5 pages long, and it will just take you through the structure that I have spoken to you about. And it also gives you a meditation for the magician. It's my cat Minerva. And it also will give you lifetime access to this course once we've got it in the membership area, all for free. So this is the banner there, okay? But yeah, take it lightly, peeps, and have fun, yeah? What's for the soul won't pass the soul. So is there any questions on that before I dive in to the... hi, Lorna, good to see you. Okay, any questions, or are we ready to go into the Transformational Truth of Tarot session for this week? I mean, it's so great to see you here. Thank you for being here. That is part 1 over. And all of you for your comments, Leslie and everyone else. There's lots of people that are coming up as Facebook user. Chloe, Gwyneth, thank you all for being here. This is part 1 done. If you want to stay, we're going to go into the Transformational Tarot session for the week ahead. I can see that someone is saying that they're new to this group and they're asking me for a reading. So thank you for that. I'm just going to clarify so you can see whether you want to stay or not. I don't do readings. Okay, and you're going to go, what? You're about to do a reading for the week, Tiff? Yes, I am, but it's more about, this is the closest I get to actually confusing you about whether I do readings or not. And I ummed and ahed about whether to bring the transformational truth of tarot sessions back, because when I've done them before, people, you'd be forgiven for thinking that I do readings, right? Because it looks like I'm giving a reading. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing a reading. What I do is I help you get to know the transformational truth of you so that you can power up your purpose, your passion, and your partnerships and start manifesting miracles at the rate of 1 a month, maybe even more. And so that's why I call myself an inner transformation specialist, because I do it through these journeys. Yes. And so tarot reading was like my past life. I train others in how to hold transformational tarot sessions. But that is like the last part of what I do. Before all of that, what I do is I help intuitives that have gone into outtuition, and having tarot readings in certain ways can feed outtuition. What do I mean by that? That's when you use your intuition to tune out of yourself, i.e. what is happening around me, what is happening with that person, what is happening with that situation. Whereas real intuition is about coming into you, what is happening with you. And it's only when we're in that place that actually things are going to go right in our life. Okay. And so that's 90% of the work that I do before I get to the part of training others to do transformational tarot sessions, which are slightly different to the normal tarot readings, which can be predictive or exasperate outtuition, which is not a good thing. So how I do the transformational tarot session here is not through giving people readings, but what I will do for you is I use 2 decks. I use the Light Seers deck, not always, but at the moment I am, and the Osho Zen deck. I do tend to always use the Osho Zen deck when I do a reading. And the reason that I do 2 is because if you just have one, it can be quite outuitive. And the reason I use Osho Zen as the other one is because Osho Zen is very Zen, i.e. it really helps counteract that balance and make sure that you're coming back into the intuitive part. Okay, so this reading is basically a forecast for the week. And whenever you're forecasting, you are going into predictive territory, which is slightly going into outtuition. So in order to counterbalance that and bring back the intuition, I use the Osho Zen alongside. So I'll show you what I mean. And also what this does is it helps, it helps the magic appear. The magic of, it could be the same card that comes up twice. Okay, so I'm just going to lay down 7 cards. You're not really going to be able to see them that well, but I'll hold them up as I speak. Oh, wow. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'll show you why I'm saying wow as well. Okay, so I'm using the Osho Zen alongside. So I'm laying down 7 cards, 1 for each day from both decks. Okay, and we're comparing as we go along. The reason that I said wow, you're not really going to see this well, but let me try. Okay, and then I have to kind of bend down like this, which doesn't really work very well. Hey, and good to see you here. Okay, all right, so is that a little bit better? We're kind of getting there, aren't we? But the reason I said wow is all down here, and you can't really see that well. Let me just take the banner off, which will help. Okay, so all down here, these ones, we have wands, wands, magician, wands, world, wands, moon. That's why I said wow, because we're working with the magician and his wand this week, right? Okay, and so there's only one card, two cards that aren't about wands, although the world card, if you look at the world, I've got to speak to you about that. Wow, I'm kind of like firing off on all cylinders. It will become clear, but my goodness, the only card that doesn't really have the wand type energy is the moon, interestingly, which is when we finished, to be honest. So that's why I was like, wow. So the first thing that I do is I look for the major arcana in a spread and the elemental balance. So as I said here, wands, that's a lot of fire. There's a lot of energy. There's two major arcana here, the world and the moon. In Osho Zen, we've got inner voice, which is the high priest, the high priestess, and the lovers. So they're the other two major arcana. Major arcanas are about the higher divinity. So we've got a good kind of, there's a good feeling of being held by the divinity and being held in a beautiful way, actually, which is really nice to see after the elections and with, you know, in the USA and the UK being in lockdown. It's really nice to see. Last week, there was a heck of a lot of strength coming through. It was being sent to us from the universe. Now it's like the universe has anchored us. That's the feeling that we've got here, and it's about how do we work with that energy. So let me take it day by day for you now. Okay, so today we've got the Four of Wands and Adventure, which is the Page of Pentacles, but the pictures say it all. Like I was saying to you, just play, absolutely play. Look, I've got my cat toys behind me. You know, play. This is really it. The adventure, the Page of Pentacles, that's the new adventure that we're taking. And it's like, yeah, celebrate it and have fun with it. This is all about going into that beautiful lightness of the inner child and allowing your inner child out to play. Then, interestingly enough, tomorrow, we go into the sword energy, and we've got postponement here with the Osho Zen, which is the Four of Swords, okay? And we've got the Queen of Wands as well. So we've still got this, yeah, I'm the magician and I've got my wand. But then we get into this place of like maybe second doubting. It may well be that the Ace of Swords tomorrow brings up things for you about where you are delaying things and why. Why are you delaying things? So it feels like that's going to be the magic tomorrow, is about unhooking from postponement, okay? So as you can see, this is about you. This is about your intuition and what you're doing with you. And that's the difference here, all right? And then what we've got here on Wednesday, we've got the Magician and the Lovers, which is very interesting. They're both ruled by Mercury. In other words, they're both the zodiac sign of Gemini. And it's interesting because you've got the heart here, and we're actually going into the cup as well. So there's a lot of mind energy going on still from the sword here because of Mercury and Gemini. There's a lot in the head. But there's also the heart. It's the head and the heart, and the magic of blending the two. So it feels as if the cup will be working very beautifully with that for us on Wednesday. Now, on Thursday, we have the Knight of Wands, which is still very magical and excitable. And we also have Letting Go, which is the cup energy, okay? So it feels like once we activate the energy one day, it's kind of, you know, pouring into the next day as well. And we definitely seem to have that going on here with the cup. Now, what we have with the Knight of Wands and the cup is interesting. I would say the Knight of Wands does let go. He can't be held back. And so there's this sense of like, oof, the energy to move on, to stop the delaying, to stop the postponements, to let go, to get out of our way and to move on, is really being felt here with the wand on Thursday. Then on Friday, which is our day of the pentacle, which is round, we actually have the world. In this deck, she's not actually holding wands, but in the traditional deck, she's holding wands, and it's the first time in the major arcana, which is 22 cards, which represent your journey in life, and the world is the last card, which represents evolution. Hallelujah. The wands are actually both white rather than white or black, or it's like there's a polarity between all the way. In the major arcana, there's this black-white polarity of the negativity and the positivity. But when you get to the world, it's like you've done it, you've mastered it, you've baked your cake, which I was speaking about, basically. Right? So this is a real celebration energy again. But what we've got here is the burden. So as I was saying, you don't want to be going into the mind in this journey of like, oh, I should have done it better, or I should have done it differently. Watch out for judging. And every time, I want you to practice thinking about catching every time you're judging something and there's this thought that comes up, and you just say to it, what if that's not true? So you're replacing judgment with curiosity. And the more you get that down, the more you'll be able to journey beautifully well. And the more you'll feel the world, and the less you'll feel the burden. Yeah, and we all want that, don't we? All right, so then in Saturday, we get to that place of breakthrough. The Seven of Wands in the Lightseers deck feels lovely, but normally it's about endurance, and it's a bit more like you have to keep going at something. And breakthrough in normal tarot is actually justice. So it's almost like this one feels more like justice in this picture, and this one feels like what happens after the Seven of Wands. So if I look at this all together, it feels like really what this is saying is when you've done that, when you've got past the judgment and you've got into the play, and you just dived in and had fun, then you get the breakthrough. That's what happens. And then what we've got for the last one on Sunday is perfect, because it's the very next card. So the Magician is number one, right? The High Priestess, which is the inner voice in this one, is number two. Yes. So it's like you've come out of the mind and into the heart. It's like she's the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is the minor arcana version of the major arcana of the High Priestess, who is the inner voice in Osho, and also ruled by the moon. So you can see the feminine, just like we've broken through the masculine, boom, and into the feminine. So there we go. There's our forecast for the week of being your own magician. So let me just have a look and see any comments. And hey Olga, and do ask if you have any questions now before you pop off. We pop off. I was just trying to find my magician, but he's popped off. So, you know, you're going to be putting your magicians on your phone. I think a lot of you have done that already. You've been sharing your magicians in the group, which is wonderful. It's wonderful to see all the different magicians you're choosing. So do have a look there. There's lots of inspiration. I've got a feeling like you deck collectors, not debt collectors, but deck collectors, are going to maybe need deck collection for the amount of decks that you actually buy. After looking at that thread, but it should give you lots of inspiration. And it might mean that you decide to work with two magicians, and you can absolutely work with two pictures, but any more than that, overload. Okay. All right, so let me have a look at questions. Do ask if you're unclear with anything. Really lovely to see you all here. Good to see you, Adele. Good to see you, Sylvie. Hello, hello, hello. And you pressed an angry emoji by mistake. I can't see it. You must have deleted it. Haley, good to see you here. Someone said, I had to delete my live today. I won't go into it, but topic of meditation for group was magic of stillness. So the group this morning is going to have to immerse into stillness. No video, no choice. Wow. You see, I just love the way that the magician works. Yesterday, I kept seeing the infinity symbol, and I was like, why am I seeing the infinity symbol so much? And then I was like, oh, of course, because I don't know where my magician's gone, but it's part of the magician card. So, you know, these energies, they can work before we've even started working with it. Okay. Yep. Someone's put their magician on the phone. Very different this time. Awesome. Great. So it looks like you're all clear. Let me just pop this up. Okay. That's the link that you need. Maybe I can pop it in the comments for you right now as well to get your little meditation and your book. It's 5 pages, but it'll really help you with the structure. All right. So do check that out, and you can. It'll help you with the daily thing. It's like a little kinesthetic. Okay, I can fill this in, and now I can post this in the group. Okay, how do we set this so you can see our names? You have to register with StreamYard, Adele. At the beginning, I think it says, do you want to? I think it gives you a little thing that should say that. Okay, so off we go. Let's see what happens. And it's never quite as you expect. So remember, visual, who, what, how. Write it out in the evening, share it, and even if you don't see the magic, do that first and then see what happens. Lots of love to you. I'm so excited for you and what's going to happen this week for you all. And bye for now.